I've spent the last few years helping high performers 3 to 10x their income in rapid speed, and I've personally 2x my income twice and 5x my income at one time in my life. You guys, as somebody who's spent over 10 years doing the work, reading over 300 books, went to grad school for clinical psychology, helped over 1,000 PTSD patients, and helped over 100 business owners. I've drank the Kool-Aid, bought the bumper stickers, did cartwheels down the aisle with tambourine in hand. We have all been missing 3 key elements. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can change not just your life, but change who you are and do so in 90 days. And past clients aside, every time I have personally done this work, I did not recognize myself 3 months from when I started. And I mean that on every level, internally and externally, in the best possible way. But here's what I need you to know, or else you're gonna totally miss this. In fact, 99% of you watching this right now are never gonna do this, because it's the easiest yet hardest thing that you'll ever do in your life. These 90 days with myself and with my clients are gonna test every part of your inner and outer world. And for me, every time I do it, honestly, it takes everything in me not to throw in the towel and just give up completely and say, it's just not for me anymore, it's for other people. But I'm telling you, when myself and others have persisted in this work, the results are unreal. So if you're ready to lock in, if you're ready to change your life in the best possible way, I want to share with you everything that I've been doing and everything that I have learned in doing these over the last 90 days that will take you from I'm manifesting, I want to create something, I want to have something, to being it, living it, and actually experiencing it in reality, not just in your head. And understanding not just this huge gap, but this actual gorge of where you're at to where you want to go. Because here's what I need you to know first. Your identity is everything. It is literally the biggest lever that you can pull. So I've boiled this down into 5 steps, and I'm gonna go through every single one of them. So the next 90 days for you are insane. So from a foundational standpoint, we're gonna start with step number 1, which is detached observation. Detached observation is awareness without judgment. You have to be detached from the judgment of yourself. See, most people are trapped inside their identities because they've never really stepped outside of it. So what detached observation means is watching your thoughts, your reactions, your habits, your patterns without trying to fix them. I don't want you to do any of that stuff. And I want to make a distinction that you are not your reaction, you are the observer of them. So this step is just about collecting data. It is not about assigning blame or shame. And I want you to be detached from doing that. Now, because this step can really be difficult to step away from yourself, meaning the emotions, the shame, or the blame, whatever, I have found it personally easiest to assign this to an imaginary character. And I'm going to give you 2 of them that will really make this clear. Number 1, David Attenborough.
Some animals have developed camouflage of such perfection that they are virtually invisible against their surroundings. But what happens when those surroundings change? Well, then, of course, the animals have to change too.
If you notice when he's talking about the animals, his tone, right? He's not judging any of these things. He's just stating what's happening. And if David Attenborough was in your life right now, he would just be talking about what's happening in your day-to-day things. So I really want you to imagine him being in the room with you. Put a lab coat on him with a clipboard, and he's just walking through, going through your days. But the key difference is that he's able to read your thoughts and go in detail about your emotions. So this might look like, insert your name, is feeling really angry about this situation. Now, because their anger that they're having in this situation, they go and then react this way to the people in their life. What you notice that he's not doing is making you wrong or adding shame to it. He is literally a scientist observing you. Now, if you're the type of person who has incredibly negative self-talk, I want you to pick somebody even lighter. Somebody in your life, either silly or comical, that you've never had the experience of them judging you or being nasty to you or to other people. So a second option that you can pick for this person is Dr. Nick from The Simpsons.
Hi, everybody!
Hi, Dr. Nick!
Now, there are many options available for dangerously underweight individuals like yourself. I recommend a slow, steady gorging process combined with acid horizontology.
Of course.
You'll want to focus on the neglected food groups, such as the whipped group, the congealed group, and the chocotastic.
What can I do to speed the whole thing up, Doctor?
Be creative. Instead of making sandwiches with bread, use Pop-Tarts. Instead of chewing gum, chew bacon.
You could brush your teeth with milkshakes.
Hey, did you go to Hollywood Upstairs Medical College too? And remember,
Growing up loving The Simpsons, I love Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick is silly, he's lighthearted, he's a bit of a quack, but he always manages to lighten up a room when people come in. And oddly enough, he's still able to get results with his patients. So if Dr. Nick were in the room with you, observing your thoughts, behaviors, emotions, he would have a really silly, lighthearted way of describing them. So right now, I want you to pick one of these two, David Attenborough or Dr. Nick, without trying to fix them. They're just being a scientist. So for the next week, I want you to choose one of these characters and have them be in your life all the time, observing you, noticing your thoughts, your behaviors, your habits, your actions. Remember, they are just there to collect data, not to assign blame. Because until you can clearly see your identity, you can't dismantle it. You can't really rebuild something you've never taken a look at. Step 2, the commitment. By the way, this is where most people actually drop off. So once we have that data collected from either David Attenborough or Dr. Nick, we're gonna sort of compile this data. You can have that data in a spreadsheet or a notebook. And what we're gonna look at is sort of themes from these data points. Because observation alone changes nothing. Commitment is the turning point. This is the moment you decide, I no longer am negotiating with this version of me that got me here. Commitment is not motivation. It is a line in the sand. And what you're committing to is the process, not the outcome. So just think of that, a commitment. And without this commitment, step 3, which is next, is gonna be unbearable. So people avoid it. This is where people say that they wanna change, but they don't actually choose it. Step 3 is the teardown, and I'm gonna be honest, this is a heavy one. This is identity deconstruction. This step is about deconstructing who you became, not who you are. Your current identity just didn't appear randomly, it was built. It was built by family roles, survival strategies, past traumas, expectations placed on you, decisions you made to stay safe. We map the current identity, how you see yourself, how you make decisions, what you avoid, what you tolerate. Step 3 here is where people confront outdated beliefs, emotional armor, survival strategies, belonging techniques. And I'm gonna tell you, doing this by yourself is incredibly difficult because your identity itself will protect it. And this is why most people during this phase choose to work with somebody safe to do this work. Because you don't really dismantle an identity by protecting certain aspects of it or hiding things. You dismantle it by full honesty. Again, this step is exactly where most people get stuck or they quit, not because they're weak, but because identity and also traumas resist being exposed to safely tear down. Because this part right here isn't really a motivational issue. It's more so needing structure, containment, and guidance. But know this, if you skip this step, step 4 is totally performative and it's not gonna succeed. This is the type of work that therapists refer to as doing the work. If you've ever tried to really change and you keep hitting a wall, it's usually because you tried to do this part 100% by yourself. I want to be clear that it is not impossible, but it is harder. Step 4, this is the rebuild. This is identity reconstruction through action. Rebuilding identity is not about affirmations or mindset shifts. Identity is built through clear, repeatable actions. And what this means is we define the character that you must become, the standards you must live by, and the behaviors you default to. See, small actions matter because identity updates through evidence. Every action answers the question, who am I becoming right now? Because identity isn't just declared, it's demonstrated. Step 5 is what's called the character design studio. If any of you have ever studied acting, you'll understand this point. This is method acting, but for your life. This is where rebuilding your identity becomes intentional and creative. We design the character you're stepping into, how this person thinks under pressure, how they move through the world, how they speak, what they decide, how they respond, like just how method acting teaches you. You don't wait to feel like you're the character, you act as them until it becomes natural. This is not faking it until you make it. This is becoming that person. A great method actor isn't faking it, they're being it. Daniel Day-Lewis, Heath Ledger, big method actors, right? They never change that person when they are offset, they were always being it. It's not an on or off switch. Again, you act as them, it's natural. And this is not fake, this is training the nervous system for a new identity. And in a quick period of time, the character just becomes you. You don't fake the role, you rehearse it until it becomes real. So to close this all up, detached observation, and you can choose either David Attenborough or Dr. Nick to be fully detached from yourself. because observation gives you a clear identity on your patterns, your thoughts, your belief, the data points. And then once we have the data, we're able to commit, right? The commitment gives you the permission, the allowance to actually change it. And the teardown is the mapping, where we get to see how you actually became the way that you are. And the teardown removes what no longer fits. Once the teardown happens, and it has to fully happen, we're left with the space of nothingness. This is when we get to actually begin rebuilding. This is the freedom that allows us to rebuild. We're building from a place of scratch, of a blank canvas. And this is where we understand who it is that we need to be. And the character design studio is like a hodgepodge of different types of people that we want to be. Again, you don't find yourself, you rebuild yourself. So if you are serious about rebuilding your identity and you want to hockey stick your results, I'm talking 5 to 10xing your income or your impact. That's exactly what I designed my program for. We go deep into the teardown, the rebuild phases, the structure, and you get the support. But I will tell you, this is not for everybody. And I want to be very clear about that. It's for people who are ready to stop repeating the same version of themselves. If that's you, the application is below. Peace, and I'll see you in the next.